On the news at night, Soli Sarabji is also joined by Subramanian Swamy, the person who investigated the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, former CBI Director Dr. Karthikeyan, senior and top lawyer in the Supreme Court, Kamini Jaiswal, also joined by the National Secretary of the People's Union for Civil Liberties, V. Suresh. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. Mr. Sarabji, keeping aside the politics, the Supreme Court has in a number of cases commuted death sentence to life due to an inordinate delay in deposing of mercy petitions. Now, given that it has taken 11 years to reach this decision, the argument being put on the other side is that it's a fit case for a reprieve.
Yes, well, you're right. The Supreme Court has held that inordinate delay in keeping the man on death row amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. And if there's no explanation for the delay, if the delay was not occasioned by what the convict did, then that death sentence is replaced by a term of life imprisonment. Those are the Supreme Court judgments. Now the party can move the court. But I don't understand the political parties saying that you must give them relief. Look, Arnab, let's be clear. Whether we like it or not, death penalty is in our statute book. It has been challenged twice, but the challenge has been repelled by a constitutional bench on 2 occasions. So it is there. Judges have tried to mitigate the rigor by evolving the doctrine of rarest of rare cases. In this case, the conviction has been upheld. It has attained finality. The mercy petition has also been rejected.
Yes.
Now, the only ground the convict may have is the judgment of the Supreme Court, which says there should not be inordinate delay in keeping the person on death row. That's
Yes.
the only ground. But I don't understand. Sonia should intervene, so-and-so should intervene, nothing done. You must respect the Supreme Court judgment is final.
Yes.
The clemency has been rejected. And frankly, I don't know why they take so long. There's some new thing of the Home Minister saying it comes in queue, it comes in line, as if it's number 1, number 2, number 3. It never happened when I was Attorney General. We used to give the opinion within a month, and they used to take a decision soon thereafter.
I take your point. But then, Mr. Suresh, who's National Secretary of the PUCL, Mr. Suresh, there is a case in which there was a conviction in 1997 before a Sessions Court of a man in Assam, Mahendra Nath Das, also convicted. Why should he, just because he doesn't have a political party in Assam that is rooting for him with a regional card, also not get a reprieve? This is a classic case of politics versus justice, isn't it, Mr. Suresh? Classic case.
No, it isn't. It is the media making politics out of this. It is not really politics. Just as much as Govinda Das in Assam, as also Bhular in Punjab, and these 3 prisoners in the Rajiv Gandhi case, we should say that the PUCL has taken a principled stand for the last 35 years that death penalty should be abolished. And we are against death penalty for anybody, not just the Rajiv Gandhi killers because they are Tamils and Tamil parties are taking it. To the contrary, a wide cross-section of people in Tamil Nadu, as also in other parts of the country, have been saying that apart from delay, there are several other legal issues which are at play, on which basis we say that a commutation should be brought about. We are also saying that as a part of a civilized set of countries, we should join 136 out of 240 countries in the world.
No, but Supreme Court has decided.
And there's nothing wrong about the fact.
Supreme Court has decided the matter. The President has turned down the mercy petition. So where do you go next unless you take this to a political court?
No, this is a very typical issue that is there, that the Supreme Court has itself said in several cases that the rejection of one petition does not mean that you cannot make other petitions. The basic reason behind this is the fact that commutation power is a power of granting mercy, which is a sovereign power.
Sir, I take that.
Let me just complete, because it's a sovereign power of the state. And it cannot be curtailed by executive power.
I agree with you.
And it goes beyond the judicial process.
No, but now it's already... My point is, I know the case you are speaking about, which is the Krishna Gaur and Bhumaiya versus State of Andhra Pradesh 1976 case. But that shows itself In that case, it said rejection of one clemency petition does not exhaust the power of the president or the governor. But the governor has, in this case, has decided, the president has decided. Reconsideration can happen. You can go for judicial review of the president's decision. You still have that court of appeal, but one of the accused has taken a legal recourse, but the issue is being politicized.
No.
The issue has been politicized, hasn't it, Mr. Swamy?
No, it is not being politicized.
Mr. Swamy, has the issue
been politicized? Let me just say on this, the POCL has filed a commutation petition on grounds of...
Mr. Vaiko has said that if these three are hanged, Tamil Nadu will secede. Now, if that is not politicization, what it is? It's a ridiculous thing to say. I also must tell you that your channel keeps saying pro-Tamil parties, as if there are anti-Tamil parties in Tamil Nadu. There's no such thing as a pro-Tamil party. They are all Tamil parties. And I will tell you that the overwhelming majority of the Tamil people support the hanging of these people.
No, sir, here in this...
I don't know where Mr. Subramanian Swamy is getting this overwhelming majority. I'm sorry. It's not just there's an overwhelming majority. There's a significant section of people also who say, let commutation be granted. Nobody is asking that they be freed.
No, but here question is...
Nobody is saying that they be freed and they be come out tomorrow.
Question is, should the law be allowed to take its course? You see, that is the simple and clear question here. Let me get in Kamini Jaiswal here on this. Should the law not be allowed to take its course, Ms. Jaiswal?
Yes, of course, the law must be allowed to take its course, but just because people are anti-death sentence, it does not mean that they are against the law and they do not want the law to take its own course. Now, the law also is that keeping a person in death row for these long years is itself violation of the rights of a person. Nobody is asking for reprieve. Nobody is asking that they are going to be acquitted. It's all that, it is not expected that state would be, so rope, they just want to hang people. It is
but is there not political pressure this time?
The life of a person by a state.
Is there not political pressure this time?
There's no politics on it.
Are political parties not making comments?
Not be the reason. I agree, but it should not be politicized.
No, but it is.
It is not political.
No, my question is, Ms.
It's a human rights issue.
Ms. Jaiswal, my question to you with all respect is, if the government will be, if it is seen to be giving to political pressure this time, what impact will it have in other cases, in the Afzal Guru case? There also political parties make comments.
Agreed. Political parties must not be permitted to take political mileage out of these issues.
But they do.
These are not political issues.
Right.
I know they do, but therefore they should not be permitted to take political mileage out of it. Courts must, there is a matter, I believe, coming up in court tomorrow, and if one of the issues is that why have these people been kept in a death row for 2 decades, and that has violated their right, then the court will decide on that. And if the court comes to the conclusion, yes, their rights have been violated,
they were in death row
for 2 decades, then...
Mr. Swamy is rebutting you. Go on, Mr. Swamy is rebutting you.
Yes, they are in death row for 20 years.
Because these people made a mercy petition. After boasting of assassinating Rajiv Gandhi, they then switch around when the judgment comes and start asking for mercy.
Why was the mercy?
What kind of people are these? What kind of heroes are these?
But why was the mercy petition? Why was the mercy petition kept hanging for all these years? They are not responsible for the mercy petition being kept hanging for all these years. It was for the government.
Yes,
it's an executive
but the inordinate delay. The inordinate.
Yes, so that is what we are talking of. We are only talking of inordinate delay
is not due to
disposing of the
failure of the executive to carry out the execution. It's a failure for the president to decide.
No. See, the issue is inordinate delay on whose part? It is not inordinate delay.
Not on the part of the accused.
It is not inordinate delay on the part of the prisoners. It is on part of the ruling regime in Delhi. Now, but that is besides the point. Yes. The main issue here, the Supreme Court itself has said that the crime of assassinating Rajiv Gandhi was hatched by people as avenging the IPKF atrocities committed by Indian soldiers on Sri Lankan Tamils in Sri Lanka, and the Supreme Court is very explicit on it, because it takes a lot of courage for the Supreme Court to say that a case of assassination of a former Prime Minister is not a Tada case. They have held that there is not a single bit of evidence to show that the killers wanted to kill anybody else but Rajiv Gandhi, and despite 18 people being killed, it was more...
No, one second, Mr. Suresh. Yes, I want to come straight to the point. Point is this, politics delays the decision, and when the decision is taken, politics defers the decision. So politics, in the same way, it can be said.
There is no politics differing.
No, one second. In the Afzal Guru case, I'm giving a clear...
The POCL is a national level human rights body. We are not playing politics. We are not taking any sides.
Mr. Suresh, either we argue technically or we argue realistically.
Media is dubbing it as a political game.
Vaiko is a politician from what I know. Mr. Karunanidhi is a politician from what I know. You know, they are not civil
let us
society
understand
activists.
that these issues are issues.
They are not members of PUCL.
But, Mr. Goswami.
Yes.
No. But PUCL and many organizations like PUCL are taking a stand. And let's be very clear. Any issue, including Anna Hazare's thing, there is a politics behind the media supporting Anna Hazare group. There is a politics behind any social issue.
Certainly.
So merely because politicians are part of the whole political process.
No, I think Mr.
merely because Vaiko has talked about it, doesn't necessarily dub it into a Tamil color.
One minute. Mr. Suresh's question is simply this. Let's stay focused on the issue at hand. I want to go to Mr. Karthikeyan. Coming to you, Mr. Sorabji. Question here is, are we being unrealistic and arguing too technically by saying that politics is not involved in demands such as this? The only reason why Mahendranath Das, the man who walked with a severed head on the streets of Guwahati and who was sentenced in 1997 to death, the only reason why there is no debate like this going on is not because civil society activists want him to face the death penalty. It's because no political party in Assam is today making it a political issue. Then it gets a completely different flavor altogether. We have to be realistic and not technical in this. Now, I want to go to Mr. Karthikeyan. Dr. Karthikeyan, where do you stand on this? On the news at night, Soli Sarabji is also joined by Subramanian Swamy, the person who investigated the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, former CBI Director Dr. Karthikeyan, senior and top lawyer in the Supreme Court, Kamini Jaiswal, also joined by the National Secretary of the People's Union in deposing of mercy petitions. Now, given that it has taken 11 years to reach this decision, the argument being put on the other side is that it's a fit case for a reprieve.
Yes, well...
Union for Civil Liberties, V. Suresh. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. Mr. Sorabji, keeping aside the politics, the Supreme Court has in a number of cases commuted death sentence to life due to an inordinate delay.
No, my explanation for the delay, if the delay was not occasioned by what the convict did, then that death sentence is replaced by a term of life imprisonment. Those are the Supreme Court judgments. Now the party can move the court. You are right. The Supreme Court has held that inordinate delay in keeping the man on death row amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. And it is